Hey, the difference is this. Texas worried about
Because I believed in what I wanted to do. Now I'm sitting in front of your Power 4 coach.
Come on, run, catch him. There you go.
I'm right here. I guarantee you, I ain't got no problems.
Yeah,
Kind of put us on the map a little bit.
It
there.
did. It did. Yeah.
And in the hometown.
In my hometown, baby.
So it's a little bit different deal. So yeah, I think that part of it's positive.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Coach. I think it's a great way to get a team to be older and mature faster. We're getting those guys out of the portal. I mean, I'm benefiting from it now. I got 2 guys in my room that came from FCS, Group of 5 schools, that did good in winning programs, went to the FCS championship games and things of that nature to get their team. And now they get an opportunity to play Power 4 football.
Right.
And like you said, for those scouts or NFL teams that perceive this to be, a more elite level or competition-wise, they get to show that they can come from one level and keep moving up, meaning that their ceiling is higher.
Right.
And that they have the ability to adapt and play at a higher level, which I think says something about a player. I think the other thing that you have to realize, guys, especially I know high school guys are talking about it, is making some challenges there as well, that, portal-wise, when you think about playing college football, getting up to this level, and you being a freshman, it's a little bit easier, in my opinion, to take a elite high school receiver, cornerback, maybe even free safety at those skill positions. They come in and maybe they play a little bit spot because it's not as bad on the body per se as it is a high school who may have been elite and he's a D tackle or a tackle or a linebacker or a running back. It's a lot more physical in there and no shun on guys that come on the outside, but there's a little bit more contact that goes in there.
Closer you get that ball, Coach.
Closer you get that ball. It gets a little loud in there. It gets a little noise.
Real loud in there.
Yeah, and your body has to adapt to it. You got to go through an off-season program.
That's right.
You need to be able to, depending on where states you come from. Now, me and Coach are from Georgia and Texas. So our high school, we play about the same number of games that colleges play. So, but those other states, nothing wrong with that. Not taking shots or anything. Don't worry about taking it that way. But you be used to playing that many games.
Right.
And the clique that you're playing, and you're playing a guy who's a grad transfer or a senior or 4th or 5th year senior who's been in the weight room, who's all of 235, and he's still running a 4.5, 4.6. Y'all saw that come by last year. The D lineman run those 40s. All right, so it takes a little bit more, and the portal's a good way to get those guys in, keep your team mature, buy for that bowl game or that championship, but then also give these guys an opportunity who may have been at the FCS level, Group of 5, D2, whatnot, JUCO, to come in and really show what they got at the next level.
Well, they also already understand too, that hey, you play football the week of Thanksgiving, you're gonna play into Christmas. You know what I mean? Whereas maybe a high school kid, he's not been in a program that has made the playoffs to the point where they've had to practice Thanksgiving week. I know in Georgia and Texas and some other states, if you're not practicing the week of Thanksgiving, you feel like a failure.
That's right.
And then you get these kids that aren't really used to that, and all of a sudden they're like, well, man, I'm used to being at home Thanksgiving. I'm used to doing this Christmas. Whereas other football players that have played college football and been successful, they understand that. They understand, hey, we still got work to do through the holidays. That's just the way it is. But I'll tell you something else too, and this is a thing a lot of people don't want to talk about. Coaches back in the old days, coaches were given 4, 5, 6, 7 years to get things right.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at that. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not gonna call any names out there, but there's been some very successful coaches that if you look at their first 2 or 3 years out of school, and I'm talking about guys that were at schools for a very long time, you look at their first 2 or 3 years, and it wasn't very good. Mm-hmm. And if you do that now, you won't make it to year 4. Mm-hmm. And that's what people don't really want to talk about. So now that also means, hey, listen, do I come into a program that's down, and do I try to use high school kids that just keep stacking on class on class on class? Well, is your administration, is your fan base, your booster club, are they going to give you time
to do that,
to stack that?
Yeah.
You know, now if they are, you can go that route, and you'll have some tough years, and you'll eventually get things like you want it. But I'm gonna tell you what, for the most part, you're not gonna be given a lot of time.
That's right.
And so that's why a lot of teams go to the portal. They try to get guys that can come in and instantly impact the success of the team, instantly make a difference, and instantly put wins in the win column. Because, like I say, people are impatient nowadays, and for whatever reason, you know, whether it be social media, whether it be 24-hour sport networks that's out there talking about it all the time, you know, you just don't have time to play around. Like I said, there's a lot of college football coaches from back in the day, before it got the way it is now, that if you look at it, they may have been in the school for 10, 15, 20 years, been successful, but look at that year 1 or 2. It ain't very good. And if you do that now, you ain't gonna be around.
That's right. That's right. And it's professional mindset. Like, you know, the kids that come in, the mindsets are different. You know, you got a high school kid, you got to get him used to college life, living away from home. You know, understanding, you know, that it's books and ball, and not books, brawls, and ball. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the women walking around here, and they know you're a college student, and they got to get used to all that. They're not used to all that attention. Where you got a guy who's in the portal who's understands, hey coach, I got a year or maybe 2, and I got to get it done. So they're about being here on time, and they're great examples for those high school kids that are here, and they can see this is how it should be done.
Well, you know, you can see the difference in, like, when we have visits.
Yes.
There's a difference between a high school
example.
kid visiting our campus and a portal kid. You know, a portal kid, he wants to talk business. You know, we bring in a linebacker, he wants to talk to this man right here. Coach, how are you going to develop me for the NFL? He wants to talk to the defense coordinator. What kind of scheme are you running? Is it going to develop me for NFL? Hey, what kind of, you know, what kind of strength and nutrition program are we going to be in to help get me ready? And then you get a high school kid come in here, and you know they want to see the facilities and the locker room and the stadium and they want the photo shoot. And listen, all that stuff is great.
Nothing wrong with
all that stuff. But you're just talking about the different mindset between a high school kid and an older kid, what they're interested in. Because the older kid knows, hey, everybody's got facilities. Everybody gets fed good. Everybody has a good place for you to sleep for the most part. You know, but who's got people on campus that's going to make me a better football player, going to make me a better person, going to help me academically, going to do the things that's going to pay off for me in the long run. Because I'm going to tell you something, it don't matter how nice your stadium is, it don't matter how nice your locker room is, you ain't going to get to be in that for the rest of your life.
That's right.
That's temporary.
That's temporary.
Portal guys are worried about stuff that's permanent, you know, and that's another different mindset. And listen, we've all been in high school, I understand it too. You know, ain't nothing wrong with the way the high school kid thinks and what's on his mind. You know what I mean? That's 16, 17, 18-year-old kid, and that's it. So when we look at high school kids, we look at for a little bit different kid. We looking for that kid that, first of all, he's got to come in and play immediately, impact the game immediately. You know, we're not looking to bring a guy in him sit on the bench 2 or 3 years and then start for us. We want him to be able to come in and make a difference immediately. You know, so that's how we approach it.
And it's hard to develop kids nowadays just because of the portal and NIL deals. You know, you to have that second team, that third team guy that you really feel good about being the guy next year. Hey, there are people looking at him out there. They've seen him play special teams or whatever he may have been doing, and they think, hey, we can come and talk to this guy and get him to come here, develop him, give him some money, and he'll come and be a first team. And that's why you see such the overturn with depth on teams and going back and forth to the portal, because these guys are getting pulled up, and I don't really have a problem with that. You know, if a kid can go somewhere else and he thinks he's going to get an opportunity to play and they're going to give him some money to do it, it's fine. My thing is that, you know, with any of those decisions that you make, if you want to go that route and do it, be smart with it, because it is temporary. Like Coach Pollock just says, you go leave a team and go to another team. All right, you get a little money. You should put that money. I live in a dorm. If I was a portal kid, man, I ain't getting no apartment, no car. Give me my money. I'm gonna go sit over in this dorm for if I'm a grad transfer 6 months.
That's right.
That's it. That's all you got to do. If I got another year, okay, a year and a half,
Right,
is what I got to do.
That's right.
And I'm gonna collect this money, stack it up, save it, invest it, do things that'll make
Correct.
sure the long run, my family, my goals, everything I want to do, even if I get opportunity to go to the league,
That's right.
I'm in a great position to handle whatever stressors may come, and I have no distractions.
That's right.
You know, a lot of these kids, and I understand, I get it, it's new to you, it's like Christmas, you open up a present, you want to take it out the box, you want to play with it right now. I get it, I do. But let's be smart about it.
That's
and
right.
use it to your advantage, because it's gonna be gone too now.
That's right.
Like when that 6 months is over, you ain't getting no check
And-
after that bowl game. I'm just
Exactly.
letting you know. It's
and you
cut
got to
off.
figure out a way to move all that furniture back home.
Yes.
And it ain't cheap.
It ain't cheap. It's cutting into the money
Yeah.
you just made. So
It
if I
ain't
don't check
cheap,
out
buddy.
there in that, boy,
I wouldn't be out here buying a bunch of
Ooh-wee.
furniture and doing all that. No.
I'll be right in that
Don't
door.
buy anything you can't save.
That's right. I'll be right in that dorm room with them little couches or whatever they got in there. They got the little CU logo on it.
That's
and
right.
I'll be living my best life stacking that money. But
No doubt.
hey, that's just tidbits from coaches
That's it.
and been in it and seen it and understand what life is on the other side of football and going forward. What you can do with those gifts that you
Hey, it's
get.
like even with older people, folks that got money, you can't tell it a lot of times.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Folks that got money, sometimes the folks that look like they got money, they the ones in the biggest debt, don't have anything.
That's right.
You know, and it's like he said, you getting a little paycheck here, and you sitting here trying to live in a situation that you really need to think about it sometimes. Because like I said, that money's better off. It's gonna help you get a better start in life than help you live a lavish life for 6 months. Or ever how long you getting it. So that's some very good advice right there. And I would recommend anyone that's looking into all that to really consider doing that with the dorm situation, the car situation. I mean, I get it. Everybody wants to drive a nice car and everything, but you know what? You can still drive a nice car and not break the bank.
Yeah, let me tell you something. I love me a cash car.
Ain't no doubt.
I don't go to dealerships. I ain't buying nothing off no lot. No note, no nothing.
No.
I go get me a cash car.
That's right.
And I'm gonna drive that thing till the wheels come off.
Ain't
of it.
no doubt.
And then I go get me another cash car.
Correct.
Because I'm not paying you month to month for some problem. I got to
No.
change the oil. I got all this old.
That's right.
It done broke down,
And
but I'm still paying
that
you.
value's doing this.
Yeah. So, hey, I understand. We get it. But it's just some wisdom. Come from some old ball coaches who used to be old players too.
That's right.
And just telling you what we've been through and how you can really put yourself in a great position if you think about it and go about it the right way. So take that with you, okay? You got